This lesson will turn to the relationship between freedom of religion or belief and national security, especially regarding counter-terrorism measures. The war on terrorism, as it has been called, has been marked by extraordinary national security measures, which have led to violations and abuses of fundamental human rights and principles, including the right to freedom of religion or belief. Some states have instituted discriminatory practices that intentionally or unintentionally target individual adherents or groups of persons of a particular faith they perceive to be predisposed to terrorist or other violent acts. Others have adopted measures that violate the right to form and hold opinions based on conscience, an infringement on the forum internum of the right to freedom of religion or belief. As you'll recall from earlier lessons of this course, the forum internum is a person's inner realm of thinking and believing with absolute protection. States sometimes view the right to manifest a religion or belief through a national security lens. This situation is especially the case where different religious or belief communities coexist. Let's explore this further. Firstly, alleged national security protection is not a permissible ground for restricting manifestations of religion or belief under Article 18, Paragraph 3 of the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. As alluded to in Chapter 2, the right to freely manifest religion or belief can only be limited if the following 5 conditions are strictly met. 1. The measure in question is prescribed by law, so it's accessible, foreseeable, and drafted with sufficient precision to enable a rational person to regulate their conduct. 2. It is necessary for protecting public safety, order, health or morals, or the fundamental rights and freedoms of others. 3. It conforms to the principle of proportionality. 4. It is applied in a way that does not vitiate the rights guaranteed under freedom of religion or belief. And 5. It is not discriminatory in purpose or effect. Unfortunately, state responses to violent extremism have posed serious challenges to defending freedom of religion or belief. Let's look at 4 specific areas: registration requirements, freedom of movement, profiling, surveillance and harassment, and freedom of expression. Government-mandated registration systems can deny or revoke the registration of certain communities. Consequently, some religious or belief communities have been unable to gain access or to maintain legal personality status. You'll remember that access to legal personality falls within the right to freedom of religion or belief and is essential for the day-to-day operations of many religious or belief communities. Governments have also prevented the internal movement of individuals considered to be religious extremists, resulting in discriminatory practices involving religion or belief. Contrary to international human rights norms, these practices include initiatives to relocate individuals within their country of residence or nationality. It contains measures that amend the rules applicable to asylum seekers or migrants, and steps to review citizenship rules or revoke citizenship. Such actions affect others' rights, the right to the presumption of innocence and the right to due process, the right to be protected against the arbitrary deprivation of nationality, the right to liberty and security, and the right to freedom of religion or belief. States have also adopted legislation and policies that classify peaceful manifestations of religious belief as indicators of support for violent extremism, or profile, surveil and harass members of certain religious or belief groups that are deemed to be inclined towards radicalisation, extremism or criminality based on stereotypes. Regarding freedom of expression, some states have also adopted measures to address concerns that some religious publications, online and offline, may threaten peace and security, including sacred texts. Some of these states rely on the assessments of so-called government-appointed experts to review religious literature and determine whether or not such material promotes extremist or doctrinally unsound views. In the light of such evaluations, states may decide to ban or censor certain religious materials or prohibit their distribution. We all need to keep in mind that religious literature is an aspect of religious expression and therefore equally protected by freedom of opinion and expression and by freedom of religion or belief. As we wrap up, it is essential to remember that restrictions imposed on the rights of persons belonging to religious or belief communities in the name of national security must pass the 5-part test discussed at the beginning of this lesson. Further restrictive measures must be subject to accountability, including judicial oversight, when the judiciary examines the legality of an action, as per the law, and access to remedy. When states meet these conditions, the synergies between human rights, including the freedom of religion or belief, and national security, will truly deliver peace and safety.